Welcome to Boss Your Brain and Business. In this episode, I'm going to share with you how you can facilitate a breakthrough for your client. And so you're going to learn how you can show up for your client and you can hold the space for their breakthrough. I am Coach Kim. I am a certified life and business mindset coach for brilliant Christian coaches. And I simply help them make more money, have more impact in their lives, in their businesses, using two powerful things they already possess. And I believe that you're here because you are a coach, and you are a coach because you want to see your clients transform. You want to see them have a breakthrough. So I'm going to share just a little bit of how I think about this role that we have as coaches in facilitating a breakthrough for a client. So we're going to get ready and jump right into this, okay? All right, so let's get into this, how to facilitate a breakthrough for your client. So it's important that you know your role in the client coach relationship. And so when our clients come to us, right, they invest in coaching for themselves. You may feel pressure now to get that client a result, right? That pressure may be on you to show up, like, can I do it? But I want to share with you actually just four thoughts that are your job description. And if you can operate from these four thoughts, you can facilitate a breakthrough for your client, right? And I say facilitate because actually it's the client themselves creating this change in their life. And so today, actually celebrating a breakthrough with a client, and there might have been tears, and that inspired this episode because to see her transformation and to see her step into her power and step into that brilliant space of breakthrough and transformation, it was so encouraging about the work we do here as coaches. And so I just want to share with you four things. I know they are how they guide me, rather, on how to show up for my clients. And so if you're feeling pressure, like you've got to perform and you've got to get your clients a result, I just want to give you permission to release that pressure. Okay. And so let's go ahead and jump into these four things. The first thing is that, and I have them here for our screen, my client doesn't need to be fixed. My client doesn't need to be fixed. Okay. And so we don't want to have the mentality that when the client comes and they invest in coaching with us, that they're broken. I tell my clients all the time, regardless of your circumstances, regardless of what has led you here, you are not broken. If you're not broken, then that means you don't need to be fixed. And so, as a Christian coach, I make sure that I am holding God's highest vision for my client. And most of the times, my client isn't holding that vision for themselves. They see themselves as unable to get the result they desire. They see themselves far from the identity that God has for them. And so my role, right, is to not see my client as needing to be fixed, but holding the highest vision that heaven has for them. And so what's going to happen is that's going to change how you show up. That's going to change how you show up and how you coach, right? Like they're going to come with their story. They're going to come with what's going on and what's their problem, what's bothering them. But you holding this vision of how heaven sees them, you're able to hold that space and not move from it, not believe their story, right? You can't believe their story and what God is saying about them at the same time. And so we just hold that space for our clients. And I want you to think about that when someone believed in you, when someone believed the best, when you couldn't believe it for yourself, how that was actually transformational for you. This is what we get to do as coaches. We get to hold the highest vision of heaven for our clients. All right, that's the first thing. Your client doesn't need to be fixed. I don't care how broken, busted, and disgusted they present. There's a reason for that, right? It's their brain, right? Just something they're believing. And so we're here to remind them of who they are in Christ. All right, number 2 is my client is completely whole as they are, right? And I know that this one is like, but they're presenting with so much that they aren't able to do as themselves. They're presenting as broken and missing things. I understand, right? And that's going to be our client's story. But we must hold this picture of their wholeness. Okay? We operate from our expectations of the future. If I think it's going to be cold outside, I'm going to grab a jacket. If I think it's going to rain, I'm going to grab an umbrella. And so if we're holding the vision of wholeness for our client, then everything we do and say is going to lead them to that place, regardless of how much they want to hold on to their limiting thoughts, regardless if they show up week after week and they're down or they didn't do the work that week. Doesn't matter. We hold this vision that my client is completely whole as they are, even if they don't obtain the result that they so badly want, they're still whole. And you hold that space for them, right? And so holding the space for your client, right, without judgment, without our own thoughts, that this is who they are, how God sees them, and I get to hold that space regardless for how they show up. That is how you can facilitate a breakthrough for your client. Number 3, my client has all the answers. My client has all the answers. So this is beautiful, right? So what does this do? Takes you off the hook, right? Here's the thing. You're a coach, you're brilliant, you're an expert, you know your stuff, but your client, they're the boss of their brain, right? They are the boss of their life. And so there's a scripture in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 that says, who knows a person's thoughts besides their spirit within them, right? And so they know what's going on inside of them. We are to draw it out. They have the answers, right? Your client could be in a situation and it can maybe be similar to what you experienced. And you can think, oh, I know exactly what they need to do. They need to follow this step and that step and that step, right? And so we can't present like we know what our clients need to do. They have the answers within them. So our work is to draw it out of them like we're drawing water out, right, from a well, a deep well. And so we want to always be believing that our client knows. They knows their thoughts. Their wisdom is within them. And as coaches, we ask the powerful questions to bring those answers out of them. That's how you can facilitate a breakthrough for your client. And number 4, now just know this list is longer, but I gave the top 4, right? But number 4 is, and this is one of my favorite, my only job is to show my client their mind. I'm telling you, this releases you from the burden of how smart you need to be when you show up and what you need to know. Everything that I know, my tools and everything I do is for the purpose of me helping my client see their mind, right? To see their brain, to see their thoughts. Because once you learn this is who you are, nothing's gone wrong, this is how you create it, you've been creating your results powerfully already, right? Once they can see their mind, they are empowered to change. And I can't stress this enough because I see coaches, what stops them a lot is this pressure to get results. But here's the thing, your only job is to show your client their mind. Your client has their answers. You just get to facilitate and draw them out. Your client is completely whole as they are, right? You're not going in being this surgeon, right? Going to fix someone's life and change it. It's not you. It's not you. And your client doesn't need to be fixed because they're not broken. They maybe just forgot who they are, right? And so I hope those 4 thoughts serve you and to help you facilitate a breakthrough for your client. And so we're here celebrating in our program today breakthrough, breakthrough. I'm telling you, like clients that have been stuck for so long, when they get these tools to see their brain and to know that nothing's gone wrong, they are empowered to change. Okay. All right. So what we want to do is we want to give you an invitation to join us in the Coaches by Grace Accelerator. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. The screen might be white for a second, but join us. This is our coaching membership. This is where you're going to learn to see your brain, to see your mind, to see what you are believing. And this is where I get to hold heaven's highest vision for you. Okay, so the screen is white. Just give it a minute. All right. So this is where I get to hold heaven's highest vision for you. And this is what I do for all of my clients. I don't care how you come in. I don't care how you come in, but you definitely will not be the same. All right. So the screen is getting a little bit of lag, but we want you to go to the link here around this video so you can join us in the Coaches by Grace Accelerator. We would love to have you. Okay, I'm going to stop scrolling. I'm going to stop scrolling because it is lagging. All right, so the Coaches by Grace Accelerator, we're going to help you become a paid coach fast, even if you're not certified, and you don't have to invest in a high ticket program right off the bat. And so it's our $7 a month program. We would love to have you. You're going to experience what it feels like to have a coach facilitate a breakthrough for you by simply holding the highest vision that heaven has for you. And then you, in turn, get to do that for your clients because it's being modeled for you. So join us in the Coaches by Grace Accelerator. A link is around this room. I want you to take these thoughts with you about your job description and release any pressure you have to change your client's life, because we are not the life changers. We're just here to guide our clients along a path because they've made a decision to invest in themselves. All right. Thanks for joining us. We will see you in the next episode.